a chance to kind of touch on this, but when it comes to corporate strategy and when it comes to tying that to AI, what do you think some of the small takeaways that a customer can take away from this to think about how to align those two things with all the noise that's coming about? And maybe Suraj, I'll pass it to you this time, and then and have it over to Greg, and then we can go into a little bit of a demonstration here.
What I was trying to kind of orient back to is find something that is worth solving. Find a use case that's going to have an important enough, a large enough, significant enough business value impact that it's worth solving in a different way. Within predictive AI, there's the outcome of a predictive model is to predict a number or predict the likelihood of a certain scenario happening, as an example. And so making sure that the data points that you're leveraging, for example, don't have bias baked into them. Generative AI has other factors that take into account, especially, the vast majority of use cases are going to be leveraging models like Anthropic and OpenAI. And so how do you ensure that you are able to engage with this with a semblance of security and trust, knowing that for a business to get any value out of generative AI, you're going to have to use your own first-party data. That's leveraging corporate data in a methodology that doesn't sacrifice the security of that corporate and customer data. The starting point always, though, find that one use case. Find a narrow use case that has a significant business impact, and then focus on implementing that deeply across your stack.
And Greg, anything to add to that just before we go over a little bit of practical, tangible examples that we can share here?
Yeah, maybe just to underline, highlight, however we want to say, something that Suraj touched on that I think is really important. I speak with a lot of our customers about this exact topic on almost a daily basis now. And what we see time and time again is a whole lot of enthusiasm, especially on the heels of Dreamforce or on the heels of SuiteWorld or Salesforce World Tour, but a general lack of sort of intentionality behind what exactly they're hoping to achieve through the adoption of AI. Mm-hmm. So my advice to business leaders and CX leaders would, especially now in Q4, be to start with the strategic imperatives over the next 12 months. If we don't have those ironed out for next year, for example, then let's make sure that we gather our leadership team, we huddle up, we come up with, call it 1 to 3 to 5 imperatives for next year that at the company level, we could all kind of get around the table and agree on. And once you have those lined up, you can check your AI readiness. You can find some quick wins and point solutions, some of which you might see today. We're going to go through a deck, and then we're going to go through a real life example within Slack. But if anyone on this call is hungry for ideas, hopefully you'll get some when you leave this call. And I would advise anyone who's trying to think about their own AI strategy to really start with those imperatives first, start with the intended outcome first, and find a way to measure to those outcomes throughout the course of whatever project you decide to take on, whether internally or with a vendor.